Look, I'm going to tell you something that took me 4 years to figure out, and it's going to sound weird. The reason you are not making money in trading has nothing to do with your strategy. It has nothing to do with your indicators. It has nothing to do with your chart setup. It's your brain. Your brain is sabotaging you every single day, and you don't even know it's happening. I'm Kirill, I'm 24, living in Dubai. I've made over $1 million trading, and for the first 2 years I was stuck, blowing accounts, revenge trading, making the same stupid mistakes over and over. Then I figured out these 8 psychological traps and everything changed. Today I'm breaking down exactly what these traps are and how to escape them. If you are stuck, if you're frustrated, if you keep losing money even though you know what's supposed to do, this video will change everything. Let's go! Here's the thing, most trading content focus on strategy. Buy here, sell there, use this indicator, avoid that level. But that's not why you're losing money. You're losing money because your psychology is broken. And nobody's talking about this. I learned this the hard way. I spent a year learning strategies. My chart looked like a Christmas tree. I knew support and resistance. I knew price action, but I was still broke. Why? Because I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand how my brain was working against me. In this video I'm going to show you the 8 psychological traps that keep traders broke. These are the exact traps I fell into, and once I escaped them I went from struggling to making over $1 million. Trap number 1. You're addicted to action. So here's what happens. You open your charts, you see the market moving, your finger is not the mouse, you feel this urge, this need to do something, to click, to enter a trade. Even when there is no setup, even when you know you should wait, you can't help yourself. This is your brain's survival mechanism. In nature, action equals survival. If you sit still, you starve. If you hesitate, you die. So your brain is wired to push you toward action all the time. But in trading, this instinct destroys you. I see this during the live scalping sessions every day. Traders watching the charts for 8 hours straight, eyes glued to every candle. They feel productive, they feel busy, but their accounts bleeding money. Meanwhile, I might take only 1 or 2 trades per session, sometimes 0. I wait for my setup. When it comes, I execute, then I walk away. Here's what I learned from chess. Sometimes the best move is no move. You improve your position, you wait, you let your opponent make a mistake. And trading is exactly the same. The market will give you opportunities, but only if you're patient enough to wait for them. If you're taking more than 5 trades a day, you're not trading. You are gambling. You're feeding your addiction to action, and it's costing you money. Trap 2. You treat losses like a personal failures. Let me ask you something. When you take a loss, what goes through your mind? Do you say I just fell on the wrong side of probabilities? Or do you say I'm an idiot, I knew that was going to lose, why did I take that trade? If it is second one, you're in this trap. Here's the truth. A loss is just data, it's feedback. It tells you that this particular trade didn't work out. That's it, nothing more. But your ego doesn't see it that way. Your ego sees a loss as a treat. It triggers shame, it triggers self-doubt. It makes you question everything. And this is really dangerous, because when you take a loss personally, you do stupid things. You revenge trade, you double your size, you try to prove to yourself that you're not a failure. I did this for months. Every loss felt like a punch to the gut. I couldn't let it go. I had to make the money back immediately. And you know what happened? I turned small losses into massive losses. One bad trade would wipe out a week of profits. Here's what changed for me. I started keeping a journal, not just of my trades, but of my thoughts after each trade. And I noticed a pattern. After a loss, I was telling myself stories. I'm not good enough, I'll never make it, the market is out to get me. None of this was true, but my brain was making it up, and I was believing it. And now I started rewriting the story. After a loss I tried, I executed my plan, the market didn't cooperate this time, that's okay, I'll get the next one. And this simple shift changed everything. Losses stopped feeling personal, they became part of the process. Trap number 3. You crave certainty into chaos. The market is uncertain, that's just a fact. You can't have the best setup in the world and it can still lose. But your brain hates this. Your brain wants certainty. It wants guarantees. It wants to know that when you click buy, you're going to make money. So what do? You spend months, maybe years, looking for the holy grail, the perfect strategy that never loses. I did this. I jumped from strategy to strategy every 2 weeks. Fibonacci, moving averages, RCI, supply and demand. I thought if I just found the right one, I would never lose again. But here's the problem. The holy grail doesn't exist. And even if it did, you'd still make mistakes. You'd still have losing days. The traders who make money aren't the ones with the perfect strategy. They're the ones who accept uncertainty. They understand that trading is a probability game. You don't need to win every trade, you just need to win more than you lose over a large sample size. Once I accepted this, everything got easier. I stopped chasing perfections. I stopped trying to control the outcome of every single trade. I focused on one thing, executing my plan. If I followed my rules, I was successful, even if the trade lost. This mindset shift is massive, because when you stop craving certainty, you stop forcing trades. You stop moving your stop loss, you stop revenge trading. You accept that some traders will lose, and that's okay, because over time, the probabilities work in your favor. Trap 4. You build negative momentum. Here's how this works. You take a bad action, let's say you oversize on a trade, it goes in your direction, you make money. That sounds good, right? Your brain says, oh, that felt good, let's do that again. So, you do that again and again, and now you've built a habit. You've trained your brain to oversize. There, one day you oversize and the trade goes against you. You blow half of your account. And you are sitting there wondering, how did this happen? And it happened because you built negative momentum. Every time you took a bad action, you made it more likely that you would take that bad action again in the future. I see this all the time. Traders who can't walk away after loss, traders who always move their stop loss, traders who always revenge trade. These aren't personality flaws. These are habits, and habits can be changed. But here's the key, you can't change a habit by deciding you'll never do it again. That's unrealistic. You change a habit by building positive momentum. One good decision at a time. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're working after a loss. Every time you lose, you immediately take another trade. Don't try to fix this forever. Just fix it today. Today, after your first loss, you're going to close your laptop and walk away. Just today. And when you do that, you've built a teeny bit of positive momentum. You've proven to yourself that you can do it. Next time it'll be a little bit easier, and the time after that even easier. This is exactly how you escape the trap, not by trying to be perfect, but by committing to one good action at a time. Trap number 5. You live for the dopamine hit. Be honest with me, you're trading to make money or you're trading for the thrill? Because there is a difference, and most traders don't even realize they're doing the second one. Here's what happens. You wake up, you scroll Instagram, you eat junk food, you watch YouTube, all of these things spike your dopamine. Then you sit down at your charts and your brain is already in dopamine, seeking mode. It wants more stimulation, more excitement. So what do? You oversize, you force trades, you take stuff that aren't there because your brain is chasing that dopamine hit. And when the trade goes in your direction, you feel amazing. You feel like a genius, you feel alive. But this isn't trading, this is a gambling. I learned this from sports. When I was training, I had to learn the difference between productive work and junk work. So productive work is boring, it's repetitive, it's doing the same drills over and over, but it makes you better. Junk work is exciting, it's flashy, it feels good in the moment, but it doesn't make you better. Trading is the same. Good trading is boring. You wait for your setup, you execute, you take profit, you move on. If your trading feels exciting, if it feels like a roller coaster, you're doing it wrong. And here's what I changed. I started cutting out high dopamine activities before trading. No social media in the morning, no junk food, no distractions. I'd wake up, I'd exercise, I'd read, I'd play chess, and I'd prepare my mind. Then I'd check the charts. And when I showed up to the charts, I was calm, I was focused, I wasn't chasing dopamine, I was executing my plan. This one change made me money more than any strategy ever did. Trap number 6. You let your ego make decisions. Your ego is not your friend in trading. Your ego wants to be right. It wants to win. It wants to prove that it's smart. But the market doesn't care about your ego. The market doesn't care if you were right or wrong. It just moves. Here's how this trap shows up. You enter a trade. It starts going against you. Your stop loss is right there. But your ego says, no, I'm right about this. The market's wrong. It's going to turn around. So you move your stop loss, or you add to the position, or you just hold and hope. And then the trade hits your new stop loss, and you've lost twice as much as you should have. This happened to me so many times. I'd be down on a trade, and I just couldn't admit I was wrong. I couldn't take the loss. My ego was running the show, and it was costing me thousands of dollars. Here's what I learned. You need to separate yourself from your thoughts. You are not your mind, you are the observer of your mind. When you're in a trade, notice what your mind is saying. Notice when your ego is trying to take over. Your mind will say, you can't take this loss. You'll look stupid. You'll feel like a failure. But you, the observer, can't say, that's just my ego talking. I'm going to follow my plan anyway. This takes practice, a lot of practice. But it's most important skill you can develop. So I actually started meditating just 10 minutes a day, and it taught me to observe my thoughts without believing them. This skill alone has saved me tens of thousands of dollars. Because now when my ego tries to take over, I catch it, I notice it, and I choose to follow my plan instead. Trap number 7. You avoid pain at all costs. Your brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain. This is basic biology. It's how we survived as a species. But in trading, this wiring destroys you. Taking a loss is painful, so your brain will do anything to avoid it. It will make you move your stop loss. It will make you hold losing trades. It will make you revenge trade to get back to break even. And all of this is your brain trying to avoid pain, but it's making the pain worse. Here's what I did. I started associating pain with bad behavior, not with losses. Let me explain. I sat down and thought about every time I blew an account, every time I revenge traded, every time I oversized. I thought about the pain of having to restart from zero, the shame, the guilt, the feeling of failure, and I linked that pain to the bad behavior, not to the loss itself, but to the revenge trading, to the oversizing, to the lack of discipline. Then I did the opposite. I thought about every time I followed my plan, every time I walked away after a loss, every time I stayed disciplined, and I linked pleasure to that, the pride, the confidence, the feeling of being in control. This reprogrammed my brain. Now when I think about revenge trading, I feel pain. When I think about following my plan, I feel pleasure. It's not a perfect. I still have days where I want to do the wrong thing, but it's way easier to stay disciplined now. Because my brain has learned that discipline is pleasurable. Trap 8. You have the wrong identity. This is the deepest trap, and it's the hardest to escape. Here's what I mean. If you see yourself as a failed trader, you'll act like a failed trader. If you see yourself as a gambler, you'll act like a gambler. Your identity drives your behavior, always. For the first 2 years of my trading, I saw myself as someone who was trying to make it, someone who was struggling, someone who wasn't quit there yet. And guess what? That's exactly who I was. Because my action matched my identity. Then I made a shift. I started seeing myself as a professional trader, not someone trying to become one, someone who already was one. And this changed everything, because professionals don't revenge trade. Professionals follow their plan. So when I saw myself as a professional, I started acting like one. Here's how you do this. Notice the stories you tell yourself. Notice when you say I'm not good at this, or I always mess this up, or I'll never be consistent. These are identity statements, and they are keeping you stuck. Replay them. When you catch yourself saying I'm a bad trader, replace it with I'm a disciplined trader who's still learning. When you catch yourself saying I always revenge trade, replace it with I'm the type of person who walks away after a loss. At first, it will feel fake, because you don't believe it yet. But keep doing it. Keep repeating it. Over time, your brain will start to believe it. And when your brain believes it, your behavior will change. And this is how you escape the deepest trap, by changing who you think you are. Alright, so let's tie this together. These 8 traps are not separate problems. They're all connected. They all fit into each other. When you're addicted to action, you take bad traits. When you take bad traits, you'll build negative momentum. When you build negative momentum, you start seeing yourself as a failed trader. It's a downward spiral, and most traders never escape it. But here's the good news, you can't break the spiral. You can escape these traps. It starts with awareness. You need to notice when you're falling into a trap. You need to catch yourself in the moment. Then you need to interrupt the pattern. Do the opposite of what your brain is telling you to do. Your brain says, take another trade. You say no, I'm walking away. Your brain says, move your stop loss. You say no, I'm following my plan. This is hard. It goes against every instinct you have, but it's the only way to win. I'm not going to lie to you. This takes time. You're not going to watch this video and become a Zen master tomorrow. But if you commit to this, if you work on your psychology every single day, you will see results. I went from blowing accounts to making over $1 million. Not because I found a better strategy, but because I fixed my psychology. And if I can't do it, you can do it. Look, I know this video is different from what you usually see on YouTube. Most people are talking about strategies and indicators and chart patterns. But that's not what's holding you back. What's holding you back is your psychology. And if you want to fix your psychology, if you want to see how I apply these concepts in real time, join my free FX community on Telegram. I share 3 to 7 intraday and swing setups every week. I post educational content. I answer questions. I help every single person in my community. I also run daily live scalping sessions on my main Telegram channel. Monday to Friday, full transparency. You see my wins, my losses, everything. These sessions aren't about taking as many trades as possible. They're about showing you how to stay disciplined, how to wait for your stop, how to execute your plan even when your brain is screaming at you to do something else. Over 40,000 people are already there. The link is in the descriptions. Join right now. And if this video helped you, do me a favor please. Subscribe to this channel, leave a comment and tell me which trap you struggle with the most. Let's talk about it. In the end, I want to say you, remember, the market doesn't care about your strategy. It cares about your psychology. Fix your psychology and the money will follow. Stay disciplined, stay patient, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.